As soon as I said hi, I forgot what I was doing. It's me, Chris, aka Wayward Knight, here to host your friendly neighborhood Brave New World Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG game. Let's go over to Bison.
Just as I mute my mic. I am Bison. I am here a lot. Bison underscore Stonefist is how I'm going to, introduce myself properly. I'm here 4 nights a week. On Tuesdays, I run our Cyberpunk Red campaign, Carnage Heights. On Thursdays, I play Encino in our King's Pyrite, a Fool's Gold adventure, a D&D 5e. That's a lot of fun. And on Saturdays, I am Sid Brimlock, our traumatized engineer for our Saturday game, Necrobiotic Dead to Rights. Next, let's go with Eddie.
Hi, my name is Eddie Elfman. I'm an Edmonton-based voice actor. Monday nights, which is tonight. Congratulations, you got it right. And it is the start of the week. I play Miss Cheryl Daw, a bit of a debutante that's messing with some arcane powers that we'll see if it gets the best of her. And then Friday evenings, I play a Stealing Stories for the Devil tabletop RPG where I play Tyler Nicky, a fun skating, shredding teenager that's trying to repair London history, and we go through different set points and famous things. You'll actually learn a thing or two about the history of London specifically, which has a lot of twists and turns. But besides that, if you want to find me outside of this Dirty 20 gaming channel on Twitch, you can find me on my link tree, a variety of different social medias, and like every voice actor, if I don't switch what platform I'm looking for work on once every 3 weeks, I will desiccate and die. So I've gone on to Casting Call Club, a fun website, which is like an open source thing. Everybody can see each other's auditions. You can look at what everybody else's auditions are like, so you can listen and really like improve your character performance. So you can check me out on there or sign up for yourself. It's all entirely free, and it's all been super welcoming so far. So I recommend giving it a shot. All right. Mana Queen.
Hey, look, guys, I remembered to unmute my mic this time. Hi, guys, I am Mena. I am here every Monday night, perpetually sliding into screen, as my fellow cohorts could let you know. If I'm not perpetually sliding into screen, you have never tuned into a stream before. Every Monday night, I play Ash, our lovely Slayer. I am finally the only one, or not the only one, second time I've done that tonight, without a light background. Eddie finally has one. Other than that, I just kind of exist here on Monday nights. Currently, I don't exist anywhere else because, unfortunately, real life sucks my soul away sometimes. But other than that, I am also in our lovely Discord, which is the most welcoming and lovely and supportive group of people you could ever meet. And Bison beat me to it. I was about to do it. Listen, I don't have links to share. Let me at least share the Discord. No, but I am in the Discord. You should definitely join it. It is a lovely time, welcoming space for everything you want to talk about. And yeah, outside of that, let's go to
Howdy, folks. I'm your mildly surly, friendly neighborhood bat, Kyle. You can find me here on Mondays, like Eddie said. Congratulations, you got the day right. As everybody's favorite half-demon stoner oracle, Jacob Ye King. On Thursdays, you can find me playing Badges Newth, a half-elf, half-badger druid with a badger turtle, Bertle, as I call him. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of chaos. Sarah tried to murder us via tentacles. You'll have to watch the episode to really get where that went. It was not as much fun as you might think. That aside, I don't use pretty much any of my socials because I don't want to, and it's just really depressing. So instead, we're going to go over to producer Kevin. No, we're not. Okay. It was worth a shot. I figured he wasn't going to work, but I had to try.
I really wish we had a crickets sound effect.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. That aside, of course, character art is by Hero Forge.
I was actually going to do that today.
Go ahead. It's fine.
Background art by Pixabay. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna have to forgive me a little bit. I might be a little spacey today. It's been I was concentrating for like hours and hours today, so brain is like woo. Secondly, like I said before, am Chris, aka Wayward Knight, on the interwebs. I am on Dirty 20 constantly. I live and practically sleep on the Discord. Great place, join us. I play Delilah Stillwater on our Saturday game, Dead to Rights. I do this, I run this, you're here, it's Monday, let's have fun. And I'm an artist. My stuff is on the internet, and my link is right here. Follow me on Instagram for all of my latest stuff. Support your small and local artist friends if you feel so inclined. Buy my art if you like it. And without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Can y'all hear me? Is my mic close enough?
Could we have just a little further ado? We never have any further ado, and
I will give you as much ado as I feel is relevant.
I think I personally give you guys enough ado that by the time
there's
we get
much
here...
ado, mostly about nothing. We can continue on.
I was hoping somebody would make that joke. I was gonna jump on it if somebody else.
It wasn't
did.
the theater major. Crazy.
English major also crazy.
Hey, I provided plenty of information about Titus Andronicus before. It's fine.
It's true.
Oh, I love Kimmy Schmidt.
Okay, so last session, everybody had downtime. Oh my god. It wasn't really downtime though, because as they draw closer and closer to the bad guys, they're realizing that they need to be prepared and they need to get their shit together. So, Cheryl decided to practice something called the sight, where she can see the forces of magic, and she was able to awaken that power a little bit with help from Ye's mom. She also learned some new offensive spells, and so far has not fallen prey to magic addiction, but we'll see how that goes. Ye worked on his fighting skills and his agility skills. He also had a vision. Ye, do you want to... Actually, Ye will be recapping that vision for Ash, so we don't have to go through that right now. Is there anything I missed for Ye?
I mean, if you have to ask, you never buy me flowers, you never call anymore, you never remember what I did last session. No, that was pretty much it. Ye just set up the meeting between Cheryl and his mom, caught up on coursework because he hasn't really been paying attention to that lately.
Oh yeah, everyone. Cheryl got her first A-, but Ye did fine on all his tests. Jack got in touch with his handler to access more training resources, provided his team with sketches and samples of the squits, and based on a visual description of Ye's demon form, got some little information on a possible race for the type of demon that Ye is half of. He also had another nightmare about the death of his fiancée, featuring squids.
Because of course.
And then at the end of the...
I was going to say, and because Jack has a photographic memory, that just just went great.
Burned into his brain.
Little shits.
At least you never met Kip.
We're still fine.
I don't know if I could handle Jack and Kip in the same room, both in and out of character.
Jack's not that bad.
No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
Then finally at the end of Cheryl got some flirty texts from Cam and then was asked out on a date. They had their date and then we'll have to figure out how that went. But at the end of the week on Saturday, they all gathered with Julian to touch base. And as they are catching up with each other, Danny bursts in looking a little worse for wear, takes out his knife, switchblade, that's what it's called, and stabs a location on the map, turns around and goes, I fucking found them. And that's where we left off. But we're actually going to rewind a little bit because Ash needs to have their downtime. So Ash, what you got? I know you had plans.
A little bit, yeah. So probably assuming that last episode started like the day after Squid's, everything, et cetera, like everybody went to sleep.
Yeah.
Ash would, for the first day, actually spend most of it with Julian. And probably send a text to Julian and says, hey, can I spend the day in your office?
It definitely, you see the like little dots that Julian's typing, and it definitely takes like a couple minutes. But he says, yeah, sure. What time are you gonna come over?
There's a knock on the door instead of an answer. As typical Ash.
You hear him kind of like drop a book, as you know, he's not used to people knocking on his door this early, and he says, you hear him kind of swear under his breath as he picks the book up, and he goes, come in.
Ash kind of like, there's like the handle probably like twists and then fumbles and then like twists again, and Ash is like shouldering open the door a little bit, and they have 2 coffees in hand, one for themselves and one for Julian, and they're like, morning, how's now?
Now is fine. Thank you. He takes the coffee. Is there what brings you in?
I just and Ash just like walks away and goes to books and is like, does the Ash thing where they're like clearly not ready to talk about it, but like just give him a minute. And so they go over to Vampire and they I'm assuming like they know where it is.
Yeah.
At this point. So they flip it open and they're like reading it through, and they have an iced coffee for sure that morning. And there's the stereotypical like at one point.
Yep.
And they're like, and they like look to Julian and they like flip through a few more pages and they like and look to Julian and flip through a few more pages and they finally go, so like I know I'm not the only Slayer, but why?
Why are you not the only Slayer?
I mean, yeah, I'm cool and I'm special, but like I'm not that special. And like I don't know. We're doing this clearly. So why?
Because when you are given a gift, it is rude not to use it, but I always found that explanation a little bullshit.
A little contrite, yeah.
Yeah. That's what they teach you in Watcher School.
Wait. And Ash kind of has like a. Do you feel the same way about Watcher School that I might maybe sometimes feel about Slayer School?
It has its pros and cons. It's certainly antiquated.
There's like a very derisive snort from Ash, but they don't say anything.
I have my gripes about it, but that's not the important part. Unfortunately, Slayerism, ew, that makes it sound like a sickness. Being a Slayer is not a gift that is returnable. And
No.
I know, shocker. If the world knew, I think the world might agree that it's a hell of a thing to waste. And a long-ish time ago, I mean, it feels like a long time. But, I mean, anyway. Way back when, someone, another Slayer, in fact, decided that the world needed more than one Slayer. And quite frankly, I agree. Not everyone.
How long ago though?
20 or so years.
When my dad was a kid?
What was your dad, like a teenager?
Probably. In his 40s, so yeah.
Is that really a shocker to you? Like,
That's
it's
long
weird.
time
I
ago.
mean, yeah, it was before you were born.
It's a long time ago. Okay. Long time ago. Got it. Like a space odyssey. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Like the 1900s.
Also, out of character, folks. I am way older than that. Just-
Yeah, feeling a little
It's
attacked.
a joke.
It's a joke from all of us.
It was a joke. It was a joke. Yeah, it was a joke.
Yes, exactly. Okay, anyway.
Anyway. So Julian will go over to his desk, set his book down that he is kind of like trying to undent one of the corners of, because that's the one he clearly dropped. And he sets it down on his desk, and he does his typical thing where he leans back against his desk and looks at you, and he says, there are many Slayers. That's true. But for every Slayer, even now, there is a lot of evil. I'm not okay. I would be lying if I said I didn't like comics. I'm not like a big comics guy, but I know enough about Spider-Man to know the quote that says, with great responsibility, or with great power comes great responsibility. It's very cliche, but things are cliche for a reason, you know? You ultimately, you do have the choice to do what you will with what you were given. But in my experience, and in the experience of many other watchers, slayers who resist their calling find trouble anyway. Because
Or trouble finds them.
you got it.
Got it. Well, clearly I have made a choice, eh? And like Ash just like takes their coffee and cheers it to Julian in the air a little bit. Not that I really think I had much of one to begin with, but I guess I do, according to what you said. Yeah, it's a choice. And like you can like see the gears turning, but like, and like maybe something in me knew having Yay as like a good friend for the past few years. I don't know. Maybe just something just was like, hey, have this person close by for when everything goes to shit. So I'm here. And Ash just kind of like puts the coffee down and holds up Vampire and it's like, clearly something is happening. And yesterday sucked. Like, and that's kind of like I'm like, we got our ass kicked. And it sucked. And all I could do was just run and jump and woo. And that sucked. And like Ash is like, and I can't let my friends aren't helpless by any means. But sometimes I think if with Estia I had been able to, I want to know more, I want to do more. So whatever that means, I'm in, I guess. Like in.
He gives a satisfied but like understanding and like not less satisfied but like appreciative and understanding smile. Like he gets it. He gets that this sucks, and he gets that it's not something anyone would probably wish for themselves who actually knew what it was like. And he walks over and he puts a hand on the vampire book and he says, life gave you lemons. Pardon the cliche again. But why don't you make some fucking orange juice?
There's an actual laugh from Ash. Like an actual laugh. He goes, okay, maybe you're not as terrible as I thought. And maybe
Excuse you.
I thought we're being honest here, Julian.
After that lovely heart to heart in the car, and he's being very sarcastic. Look, I know I'm a little not your cup of tea a lot of the time, but you know, we are in this together. I promise you that. I may not be all whoosh, bang, biff, pow, but you know, I can help you. And you can help me. And we all help each other.
Oh, don't do the whole friendship along the way thing, Julian.
No, oh God, ew, no.
Okay.
Not gonna go that far.
Worried. It's a little mushy even for you.
Not
listen, I know I am not your cup of tea either. Do you even drink tea?
Yes. You've watched me drink tea.
I yeah, but you fight the stereotypical watcher in every way. I think maybe but also, and Ash just gestures at them. So goes it goes.
Look, tea's good,
they-
okay? Can I have one thing? One thing.
Ash holds out their hand and goes, "Hi, Pot. I'm Kettle."
I kettle, I'm pot. And he extends his hand and shakes yours.
Someone
Okay.
say pot. Oh wait, he's not there.
I was just gonna be, but Chad, that's yay.
So
It's yay.
all right, let's do this because something is happening and I need to be able to help. And so here I am at an ungodly hour in your office with too little caffeine and not a lot of time.
Well, if you need some caffeine, he goes over to, he has a little hot plate actually in the corner with a kettle on it.
So
And-
sad.
Hey. And
Doesn't even have a full little kitchenette office. Oh, he's so cute.
actually he wouldn't have a hot plate. That's no, he would have an electric kettle.
Ooh, okay. Respect.
Next to his multi-pot that he needs to get cleaned.
The
Oh.
Instant Pot.
He has an electric kettle, and I think he takes tea seriously enough that it's one of those like gooseneck ones.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just like a stack of clean mugs. And for all of you real Buffy stands, it's those like sort of slightly translucent mint green ones.
Yep. Maybe a little yellow and the right light.
It's canon. It's in his Hero Forge art. Anyway, and he takes one and puts in a tea bag and pours the hot water, and you know how to make tea. And he comes over back to you and he hands this to you and he says, "It's English breakfast, so caffeine."
Ash shakes the iced coffee and the tea and goes, "Okay. Then what?" Oh no, it's like I envision this like training montage.
Yes.
To like kind of expedite things a little bit, but
Yeah. No, I was gonna
Ash-
say, yeah. Basically, I can tell you, Julian will. Ooh, do I want him to be cringy or not?
it's Julian, of course.
Embrace the cheese.
It's like embrace the cringe.
Julian will take out a laptop and he will pull up his further prepared PowerPoints and basically say, here's some, easier studying, and then there's like footnotes of like where in Vampire the information can be found and stuff like that.
Slaying for dummies.
Slaying 101, yeah. Or this is more like slaying 102 now.
Right. Yeah. Something Ash is particularly interested in, though, just like mechanically skill level wise, is being able to like sense bads around them. Like, you know what I mean? Like really focusing on like, oh, wait, that's not a normal person. Or like, something that's like gives them the Wiggins a little bit,
Okay.
to really be able to like focus on that and, be able to help of like, oh, wait, the bad things that way type of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, so what I'm going to do is I am going to let you increase your notice by 1 and your
Okay.
occultism by 1.
Okay. One for occultism by 1. No. Oh no. Okay. Never mind. I fixed it. Don't worry about
Okay. I was like, oh no, what happened?
it. I deleted the wrong number and then I was like,
Oh,
what was
no.
the number that was there?
Oh no. This is some shit I would do.
Well, it's because notice and occultism are right there next to each other. So I was like,
Oops.
oops. Okay.
So you spend the
Perfect.
day, I think Julian intersperses some like physical training with or like between the periods of studying because brains need breaks and he knows that. So and obviously more tea, more coffee, whatever, he'll DoorDash some whatever the fuck you want when it's lunchtime.
Ash will
Usually
probably send a Snapchat to Cheryl and Ye with them and a book and tea, and the caption being like, "I've been corrupted," but with a thumbs up.
Just the vomit emoji response. And then like a heart.
There is probably a middle finger and a heart back to Cheryl.
And Ye's just like, now you got to get Julian to get high. We're gonna smoke that man out.
Working on it.
All right. So for the rest of the week, do you like sort of keep working with Julian less intensely, but sort of or do you use the rest of the week to just
Ash has never been one to fully care about school. I mean, they are a fully C's get degrees type of student. So, which C's do get degrees, folks. But yeah, they probably spend most of their time with Julian. Probably hear Julian honestly be like, "Shouldn't you be in class?" And Ash just goes, "Shh," in the middle of a book that they're reading, like, because they're actually into it, like, so just shh.
And then Julian just repeats to himself, "C's get degrees."
Yeah. Like Ash isn't in danger of fully failing any of them.
No,
They will pass all
no.
of their classes, but a couple of them like by a thread.
Yeah. I was about to say something. I'm not gonna say it.
Do it. Say it.
No, because
Team of
it's a
students like has like a death grip on your degree at the end. It's like I don't know if I should give this to you or not.
So the week goes by, nothing really, like nothing much happens. Like I said last week, Julian is, going back and forth with the Watchers Council trying to coordinate the handover of the rat.
Rathu.
Rathu, yes. That's what Julian's been doing, really. Everything else we covered. So yes, you are at Julian's office touching base Saturday evening. Yay, you want to catch Ash up?
Yeah, I mean the major thing that Ash was there but not there for was Ye had a vision while they were all or before they all touched base, like when he was getting ready to head that way, of an arm that changed between a slender, pale, vampiric woman's arm to a more masculine, still vampire arm holding alternately a knife or a stake with no correlation between the two. Just sometimes it was a knife, sometimes it was a stake, stabbing Danny in the chest, and then just kind of not pausing there, but like hanging there, like the film's still going, but nobody's moving. I just kind of hung there for a bit, and then the vision ended. It was strange. Getting stabbed in the chest fucking sucks. And yeah, and then Danny actually wandered in and did the thing where he stabbed the wall or stabbed the map with a switchblade. That's what those are called, the switchblade. And said, I
You know
found
what?
them. Some people call it a sling blade. But only if you know the movie. That aside, that's pretty much where we left off. Danny looked like he got the crap beat out of him finding the bastards. And then the curtain came down. Metaphorically.
Yes. And then the curtain actually falls.
Yeah. Which is just one more thing for maintenance. They have to hate this room by now. and salt
Burns.
circles and tiles falling and drifts of post-it notes and fucking stab marks in the walls. What kind of history, whatever is going on in here? Is it medieval recreations?
medieval history, medieval recreations. Trying to find the original plaster to make a fresco. Anyway,
That's right.
So yeah, Danny has just burst in, stabbed the wall with his knife, and said, "I fucking found him."
You know we got thumbtacks, right? Like little color tacks. All right. Well, where are they?
He just steps aside. He's like,
Yeah, what can you tell us about it besides that spot that you might have slightly obliterated by stabbing it with a fucking knife instead of just putting a little push pin in so we could get the cross streets really easy? I mean, I'm all for drama and all, but my guy.
"You're at an abandoned house on the edge of the city. Who would have thought?"
All right.
It's worse than that.
We got a
It
small
is.
vampire army.
Probably.
How did you
Look,
get this information?
I have my sources.
You went there yourself, didn't you?
Well,
Or were
duh.
you the
Sorry, not duh. No, she wouldn't have said that.
I was gonna say, or did you get the shit kicked out of you in an entirely different set of circumstances before you came to tell us?
I don't know what to say. That's Chris talking. I did say I was spacey today.
And we did kind of dogpile on Danny, because
Yeah, but
Danny.
how do you know this information? And were you
Because
followed, more importantly?
Because I was there. And no, I'm not stupid.
There's a
it's
difference
pretty much
between
immediately-
stupidity and ability to remain untailed. This isn't a Marvel movie. Difficult to avoid getting tailed.
Yeah, it's gonna just immediately go peek out the door, look around.
There's like a ash just below Ye's shoulder, like that, like boop, boop.
Yep. Gotta get Jack and Cheryl in there, get the whole Scooby-Doo effect going on.
Full Breakfast Club.
Full Breakfast Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
No, I wasn't followed. I would know if I was followed. Look, I found the house they're in. Wouldn't recommend storming it. There's nothing valuable in there. Just weird science shit. What they have is, I don't know, they called it the bunker. And they called them the experiments, and something about okay.
Do we
Chris
need
is
to do
making a
some
decision.
recursive therapy where you lay down and we go through step by step how you attain this information?
I can talk in a very
We have
unconvincing German
I'm talking a
accent.
very unconvincing
a very
German
unconvincing
accent.
German accent.
If this will have
Very unconvincing.
Yes.
Sorry,
No, okay,
Chris
I'm
trying to make a
guessing where
snap
you're
decision and it failed.
trying to go with this is they have some sort of, it's not even a panic room. I'm guessing it's like a holding area for all of the creations that didn't quite meet their expectations. And
That's what I'm assuming. That's not the scary part. Did anyone check into what the hell they're doing with this blood shit? And then Julian speaks up and is like, yeah, magic and science. It's bad. And he goes, oh, okay, yeah, it's real bad. They said, I heard them say something about they don't have enough power, and then one of them brings up the Hellmouth. And the other one goes something like, what if we used the Hellmouth for more power? Because I guess the science and the magic aren't binding. And he like starts going off on this like very like neurodivergent kind of neurotic like rant of like, and then you can kind of
All right, all right. I know you don't have to breathe, so just ingest some air. Just take a moment. So pretty
Ooh.
much they're going to try to channel the horrible hellish energies that is a hellmouth to get their science and magic bullshit to work together. And for some reason they don't think that this is going to backfire horribly.
I never said they were wise. They're just intelligent. There's a difference.
So most likely we are all going to die in a giant arcane explosion. Is that what you're telling me?
If we don't succeed, yeah.
Wait, they're gonna try and Doc Brown this situation. They're waiting for some sort of hellmouth lightning storm to power the experiment.
That is what I gathered.
All right.
Are they doing
so-
that at a location, or are they prime real estate for tapping into this supernatural source?
Well,
I don't know.
think
They
it-
started coming downstairs, and I had to get the hell out of there. And I ran into. They have dogs. Why do they have dogs? Ugh.
Are you afraid of dogs?
No, but I.
Like, are they vampire pooches or are they regular? Like, what breed?
They're big ones. I'm not a dog breeder.
Well, you don't have to be a dog
like-
breeder to know what types of
right.
dogs that you've been alive
They've made
for a while.
gigantic chihuahuas the most terrible threat that a man can face.
If
Or
I had to
woman.
guess,
Those-
we
I
should,
can never.
we should
I
move
can
to-
never tell the
just call
difference
one.
between a Doberman and a Rottweiler, but it was one of those two.
They're trying to
Were they
slice in some
alive, or
Canadian
were they-
geese.
So 2 cuddle dogs
Demons.
is what you're telling us?
They were big and running at me, so I didn't really get a good look at them.
Maybe they were just excited to see you.
Well, I couldn't really stop and ask them.
All right, hold on. We need to stop piling on Danny about the dogs. They're dogs, they're big. The breed really doesn't matter that much.
Mhm. I don't like
Really
that.
doesn't.
That whole
I don't
narrative
either.
that certain breeds are bad.
Me either.
Yeah, no, it
And
doesn't.
Ash just holds up a hand to Cheryl like, me
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, they're big dogs. They're trained to guard. They're probably not bad dogs. They're just doing what they were, raised and trained to do. But they'll still be something we're going to have to deal with as gently as possible if we're going to raid where they
Well-
are. Because our options are either try and raid their house right now and risk them unleashing whatever they've got in the bunker.
That's
As
terrible.
well as dealing with the dogs, or wait for them to try and go and do whatever they're going to do and hope we can get there in time to interrupt the whatever bizarre ass ritual they're going to try and do to tap into the Hellmouth, which is the worst, dumbest fucking idea ever. Because I guarantee you, even if they kill us all and this works, whatever they do is going to turn on them and kill them immediately. That's how this sort of thing works.
I can
gonna get
attest
out
that
of the-
hellmouths are bad. I've been studying for a week.
Danny just like leans against the bookshelf with like one hand like on his or one finger on his forehead, and he's like, look, I know that
No, it's okay.
they're
He's
not
actually gonna-
good. They're not good with magic.
Yeah.
They're very not good with magic. And that's probably why they haven't been able to succeed at this endeavor.
That you can hire people who are. Look, and he's gonna actually just pat Danny on the shoulder. He's like, "Look, you got us a lot more information than we had before. I'm sorry you were." I was gonna say dogpiled on about the dogs, but that seemed a little too much. So I'm sorry he caught a lot of shit. I'm glad you're all right, and thank you for bringing us this information.
He looks at you like there's like shit on your face, like,
Ash is also looking at Ye like Ye has about 7 heads right now. Like,
or yeah, like that.
Everybody's looking at Ye like he's crazy at this point, I think. Because Jack was just like,
Look, where would we be right now if Danny hadn't brought us this information? Before you all give me that look, this is not a
too
man who
late.
just kind of waltzed in.
It's fine. It's just hilarious that he has pipe marks on his pants.
All right, that is kind of funny, but still, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I don't dislike the information. It's great. It's great
All
information.
the available city records and blueprints of the sewer systems that go underneath this property. Make sure that if we wanted to attack it, there's no back exit.
Did they say like
tunneling.
what from the Hellmouth they're looking to, or just like the Hellmouth in general?
They want raw power.
Okay.
Which, yeah, is incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
But they're archaic and not magically adept. But they're also prideful.
Okay. Well, Cheryl is researching sewers.
Yep. Oh, out of character, do we know where the Hellmouth actually is in the city?
You do not.
Does Jack know where it is?
Can Ash sense where it is in the same vein?
Jack.
Hey, Mom, do you know where the Hellmouth is? No real reason. I'm just kind of curious. I want to avoid it entirely. So,
I think Jack's superiors might know where the Hellmouth is, but they did not specifically tell Jack.
Did Cheryl search in the sewers? Maybe dig up something of like, there's a weird sewer pattern around a certain area.
There is. Cheryl, make me an intelligence notice.
Yes, one moment. I just accidentally exited out of Roll20.
I hate that.
Oh yeah. Intelligence notice. Can I add computers to that?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, intelligence notice. I believe that's a +5. That is cocked on the keyboard. That is a critical hit, so that is a 15.
Okay, so what you see from like municipal diagrams and grids is that most of the plumbing, while kind of crisscrossy and old looking because it's a city, it grew from the inside out. Or from the center out, I should say. There is towards the edge of the city a large sort of void in the plumbing structure, as if it's going around something.
Is that roughly where the house is located as well?
It is a couple blocks away, yeah.
But there's no underground tunnel network of municipal origin, I suppose, underneath the house.
Not of municipal origin, no.
Okay, so there's no necessary man-made structures.
Yeah, no.
That I can see that are a matter of public record, but it's kind of weird that there's this eyeball-shaped hole where all the plumbing's supposed to be. Did anybody see that? If you just kind of like starts to draw like a manga eye. Like with like crappy skills, and you go, it's honestly like a little spooky.
Ash is gonna do that thing where you look like you're trying to look at one of those like magic 3D art things, like
it goes cross-eyed
a little bit, like squinting cross-eyed, maybe a lazy eye in there, like Yeah, I see
Walleye.
it.
Do we have any geological surveys of that area?
I'll try and pull whatever I can up. Yeah, Ghost looks for a lot of geological engineering work.
Hey, make me another intelligence notice roll.
And Ye, on the other hand, is going to do his part by bringing up Google Maps and
Can I add
looking.
nerd to this because it's a geological survey?
Yes.
I was
Roll.
gonna ask
Another crit,
is-
so 18.
18. It's getting, so it's towards the outside of town, so things start to get hilly. But there's like a gentle slope up where, like, I just can't find words today. Jesus. Where this void is, that could potentially harbor like an underground structure. It would be good to build something into the side of a hill, basically.
Okay, so there is location in the center of this whole this area of the map that it would be optimal to build, or that there is like a recess where it's possible that like the Hellmouth could be.
It's honestly hard to tell. It's just a topographical map.
Okay, I just found a topographical map. All right.
You can overlay the two, and the
Hill?
the hill. Thank you. This is genuine. The hill does match up with the void in the plumbing.
All right. Like the apex of the hill is where the void is.
Yeah.
Yep.
This would be prime real estate, and nothing's really properly built around here. So
Yeah, is there
possible that
Google View? Do we see anything on the hill, or is it really just a hill?
Yeah, like satellite view or not satellite. What is it? Yeah.
Map
Yeah,
view,
satellite
yeah,
view.
satellite view.
Satellite
yeah, just
view.
he's like
Yeah.
scroll in, scroll in, scroll in. There's somebody flipping off the camera. Let's move. There we go.
You see how much dead grass? Patches of dead grass.
But no buildings
In-
on the hill or anything.
No buildings.
Yeah,
And
at
Ash
this
use their local knowledge because they're local. So like, do they know like of this like, like
oh yeah,
how when
Dead
you
Man's
how
Hill.
Yeah.
right like how when you grow up, yeah, there's a creepy place that you don't go because everybody's like, oh, that place is haunted.
Yeah,
Like do they know about this place?
Ash, make me an intelligence knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay. Yeah. That's an 8.
Even with an 8, you know that people don't go there.
yeah, it's
Okay,
just
it's
murder,
like-
death, kill, hill.
Right. Like, oh man, Jenkins
Like,
property.
even
We don't
the-
talk about it.
Even the delinquents avoid it. Like
Okay.
people
cops
who,
can
yeah.
see you if you're smoking, man. There's like nobody smokes up there.
It just harshes the vibe. I tried
But
to
like
smoke
even
up
the
there
cops
once
avoid
and
it
just-
because like I grew up in a place where like there was a creepy place that even the cops avoided. Like they sat down the street from it to watch it. It's like IRL.
Okay. And this house is close to the hill?
Yeah, this house is within like walking distance of the hill.
Because of course
You could see the hill from the house for sure.
why wouldn't we set up our household within walking distance of a fucking hellmouth?
All right, so we know where they're gonna go,
I hate everything about this.
and we know where they're based out of. So it's possible that they're either tunneling or trying to get to that space. I don't know if it's a literal hellmouth that is like a crater in the ground, like an underground cavern, or if it's just like a spiritual hellmouth, where it's a point.
Julian speaks up and he says, hellmouths are kind of like veils in a way. Sometimes they create rifts, like planar rifts. Other times they legitimately just split the ground open. It varies from hellmouth to hellmouth. There are many that have been recorded over history, and they aren't consistent.
But we can tell, at least above ground, this isn't like a canyon or anything. This is a solid hill. So if there is a helm out there, it's got to be under the hill. And the question is, oh man, they also say never go to Underhill, but I think that's a whole different danger set there.
Was that a Lord of the Rings reference?
Just a general Fae reference in
Oh,
general.
okay.
You know, Underhill.
I
Also,
thought it was Lord of the Rings too.
yeah. Well, you know,
Well, you know,
get on my
Tolkien and
level,
Fae things.
nerd wise. That aside, so the question is there like a hidden entrance in the side of the hill, or is there something underground for one of the nearby houses or buildings? Like, do you get there from the sewers? There's got to be a way in if they're planning to use it, unless they're planning to try and stand on the hill, even though it's the hill that nobody goes to. Are there a lot of trees on the hill or anything, or is it pretty much just
There
lots of
is
dead grass
nothing
and
but dead grass.
yeah? So even at night, that's a place you could get noticed standing on top of, especially if you've possibly got a corpse with you that you're about to try and raise into an ubermensch vampire.
Yeah, but it also might be like the top of a ziggurat or pyramid or something. Maybe it's a focal point where being at the height of this or the zenith of this structure is of some spiritual importance.
Maybe so. And that would be the easiest, because then we could just all throw fire bombs at them and just take care of this while they're in mid whatever. But I have a feeling it's not going to be that easy. I feel like
From
we
the
really need
looks
to
of
scout out the Hill of Doom.
Danny speaks up and he says, from the looks of their house, kind of looked like they were doing the firing there, and then somehow the experiments end up at the bunker. There
Mhm.
were science tubes and flasks and
Science tubes.
vegetables and fruits and books on alchemy, and it was weird.
It's possible. You said that they're not particularly skilled with the arcane. It's possible that they're looking for someone that is skilled in arcane if we're looking for some sort of social sabotage or social engineering. That I would be willing to put myself in the line of fire for.
That's a risk.
I don't like that.
I
Neither
don't
do
either. I appreciate the bravery. I do. But I think I'd rather see if they are trying to hire somebody magically inclined and then just hit them all as a group
Mm-hmm.
than risk putting you alone with two ancient vampires who've done who knows what to themselves, let alone the experiments they want to do.
That's fair.
They're not going to hire anyone.
Well, possibly we just need to smoke
They
them out then.
never have, never will. It is
But what if
twin
they
pride for them.
do you
So we wreck their
I mean,
stuff.
clearly they're getting close to their goal, though. They have to have security of some sort outside the dogs.
It's possible the house is connected to the bunker, but we just don't know where and how.
Well, what about your
Danny, all due
meathead
respect, but
man
how-
friend, Cheryl?
I was gonna say, Danny, all due respect, but how fast can you dig?
Excuse you?
You're a vampire.
I would assume that the tunnel was already dug between the bunker and the house.
Tunnels wouldn't be a problem then. They could have just made their own.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that they have some sort of Urukai situation going. But
Nerd.
Are you asking about? Just looks at Ash. Are you asking about my acquaintance?
I mean, he's got muscles. They could hire him. Doesn't he have friends too that are magically inclined?
Well,
Aren't they
I don't
also
know
across the country right now?
of he's still in. He's in Cleveland right now.
Oh, is he?
I there's like just like a deep like staring off into the distance and goes, yeah, he was going to go up to Canada to do a business trip and meet up with some Canadian content creators.
They have those up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. They
Um,
don't get paid by most of the content sites. Didn't you know that? And Ash is just like, bloop, like
yeah, they're doing
their social selves.
some sort of workout routine called like 40 under 40 below, something like that. And
The ends.
something about the temperature being good for your muscles, I suppose. I don't
It is.
pay a lot of attention.
I mean, early morning shows are great. It's a really good workout routine. If you ever really wanted to know anything about that, and Ash just starts to like tangent on like workout things. Because I mean, Ash is also that like very, workout, and it's like, no,
He is gonna reach over and just like right between the eyes, just kind of like hit the reset button on Ash. Just dook.
That's just like, sorry. No, I
No,
was
Dad.
just thinking more, like muscle and more people, the better. If we're gonna go to war with these people who have been alive for a really long time, maybe friends might help.
We
I don't
can't
know.
ask anybody else to risk their lives in this, especially not Instagram celebrities.
Ash goes, hey, because like Ash doesn't have like a following, but like I have like, never mind.
I kind of talk to him about what's going on without talking about specifics. And although he was very encouraged and enthusiastic about helping, I think it's best if he's a person to talk to before I start asking favors.
Okay.
Besides,
Okay.
Danny is pretty certain that, and he knows them better than any of us, that they're not going to actually try and hire or recruit anyone. They're going to try it themselves. So the main question is, if we're not hitting them at home, we, when and where are we hitting them? We need to check out that hill. He's going to pause and take it off his vape. We need to find out if alternate ways to get into the Hellmouth, because they might not take the same way that we find. If they're that close and they're good at can go for people or whatever, they could already have their own tunnel to the Hellmouth too. It's entirely possible. So we've got to scope out the Hellmouth, see what it entails, figure out the best place to hit somebody, and then, I mean, if their house is that locked down, hitting them at their house, I don't think it's going to turn out all that well, especially if they have tunnels to easily run out of.
I could try and reach out to some of my young nerd contacts here at the university and see if the aeronautics or surveying clubs have any spare drones lying around that we could use to survey the area.
I
Danny.
also
Sorry, go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say, I also might be able to tug at my poli-sci friends for city plans of things. Maybe we can block some entrances. I don't know. I could try.
And
Julian speaks up and he says, why don't we just draw them out?
Into the city full of innocents.
No, away from the city full of innocents.
And how do you
Yeah.
propose that, Julian? What bait do we have that they want?
Look at
A
Danny.
slayer.
Ash
Danny.
just slowly raises their hand. Just
A high-powered witch, a half demon, a whatever Jack is.
A Mennonite. It's
Kind of rare down here.
yeah, yeah. Kind of like getting Malort if you're not from Chicago. Only
That's just a
Malort's
trap,
terrible.
though. Why would they come out? Do we let them know that we have something of importance to them?
We have the dagger.
if I'm carrying the dagger, that's a 2-in-1.
Or we could set up a fake ritual, like we're trying to close or interrupt the Hellmouth.
Oh,
If I'm carrying a fake dagger, that might work.
Danny, do you remember any of the book titles? We might be able to get something that looks similar. And he looks at Julian based on what we have here.
He basically says he remembers like one title, it like a generic alchemy book, and then there was one that looked a bit more specific, but he didn't get a good look at like the title of it.
Again, Jack looks
And
to Julian.
Julian does say, I do have that one book, and he goes and grabs it.
So if we're gonna fake them out, then having something that looks like something they know might scare them and might cause them to act irrationally. We don't have to know what we're doing. We just have to make it look like we know what we're doing.
Yep.
how do we get that information to them, though? It's not like we can post on Vampire social media and say, hey, we're closing the Hellmouth tonight. Like, we want them to get the message and maybe not half of the other
What if
demons.
we open the Hellmouth? Not
No.
literally. Not literally. Not literally.
What, just go up on top of the hill and start digging until they notice and come and tell us to get off their property? I don't.
Get off my lawn.
Just a thought.
That's not too dissimilar to what I was thinking. You know, jokes aside.
We make it look like we're trying to do some sort of ritual and tap into the supernatural juice before them.
If we make them think that we can do what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
All right.
Our Slayer and our half demon and our vampire, pointing to Danny.
And our not quite English guy.
I'm not English.
Not quite.
All right, we could go buy a bunch of tiki torches down at the local hardware store. Maybe get some pig's blood attached to some drones and draw some cool sigils and get some some weird robes.
I might have weird robes already.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not white, are they?
No, God, no.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Just needed to make sure.
No, they're like deep red. It's fine.
Maroon robes? Oh, that's perfect. We can look like something out of Monty Python.
Don't be shouting, bring out your dead.
Bring
Yeah, I
out
want
your
them to, though.
undead.
Well, if we roll up as a bunch of weird supernatural monks and we do a bunch of hula, I think we could probably turn it into some sort of spectacle that'll definitely make them go a little crazy.
Certainly an idea, is what Julian says. And he looks at the time and he says,
What's the date in universe, by the way? Sorry.
In universe, it's probably like maybe a week or two into October.
And we can do it on Old Hallows Eve, so the general public does not know what is occurring.
I also think we should firebomb their house once we lure them out of it. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Are any of us particularly skilled at setting timed explosives? And just stares at Jack.
I
was gonna say,
may have some experience.
I could chuck some Molotovs into a vampire den. That's a good time.
It's a good
But
start.
But is 2 weeks enough to prepare to try and allocate enough resources and get set up?
You hear a knock at the door, and without waiting to like hear if they can come in, you hear the creak of the door, and a leather jacketed, combat booted, medium height slayer of certain relation to someone you knew walks in.
he is like halfway through launching a fucking stake at the door because nobody else is supposed to be showing up at this point. He's like, oh, Eugenie. Hey, how's it going?
Hi to you too. Yeah, kind of heard last couple sentences. Yeah, 2 weeks should be fine. I mean, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're never going to be fully prepared. Just being honest.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, but it gives us time to still scout out the hill, do some research about the area, spread rumors, whatever we need to do.
She is
I
looking.
mean, we could do co-patrols. There was like a question.
She looks at Ash and goes, "Yeah, I like the way you're thinking." And then she turns to Danny and she says, okay. And then she doesn't say anything else.
Oh, yeah, speaking of, Danny wasn't here for this. I had an oracular and very painful vision of you being shanked in the chest. By started as a long, pale woman's arm, like female vampire arm, sorry, female presenting vampire arm, with a weapon that kind of morphed randomly back and forth between a stake and a knife, and the arm morphed back and forth between like male presenting vampire arm with nothing past like the shoulder, stabbing you in the chest and then just kind of holding it there for a while before the vision faded. Like they stabbed you and then were just like for a while, and then the vision faded. You didn't turn to ash.
Dust.
No, you weren't dusted. You weren't ashed. Whatever. You just took one to the chest, and it hurt like a motherfucker because I get to experience that shit.
So you do know what pain feels like. Well, my pain at least.
I know what a lot of people's pain feels like. You ever been digested by a giant acid leech? Because I have.
I'm
No.
sorry to hear that.
So just before you start going, so you do know what my pain feels like. Yeah, I do.
Jack's
so much fucking more.
Jack's thumbing through a demonology book, and he gets to acid leech. He's like,
yeah. It's the barbed tongue that really gets you.
Danny looks over at Cheryl and says, "Did Miss Debutante actually tell you what she found out about me?"
Something about Code Red? I don't remember. I think it might have been brought up that a lot's happened since then.
Oh, did I tell you, Jeannie?
Oh,
about your affliction? Is that what you're asking about, Danny?
I'm saying, what does anybody here know about anything? You wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for me. And I'm not trying to hold that over your heads. I'm saying I think I deserve a little more credit and a little bit nicer of a treatment.
I believe that Ye was quite kind to you today. I
For
haven't
the
taken
first
any
time ever.
particular jabs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because for the first time
because you're
ever,
earning respect.
Yeah,
and
you-
contributing.
you look like you were contributing, not just kind of pouncing about, oh, there's all these things that I can't prove that I'm telling you to get you to trust me because I've been a vampire this whole time. And kind of suspected what you were, but didn't tell anybody, and yada yada yada. And great, you drink pig's blood. Great, maybe you can't hurt people. I'm trying to trust you, Danny. I'm trying very hard to trust you with every vampire I have ever met besides you. Every fucking one was a murderous, sadistic, evil parody of the person they used to be. Every fucking one. 2 times in history have there been vampires with a soul that weren't absolute sociopathic shitbags. So you'll have to pardon me a little bit if, in the line of things that I have been doing since I was fucking 16, I haven't encountered a single vampire like you. So I'm trying, and I appreciate that you risk yourself to go find this information. And I am being as kind to you as I can be right now. And if that's not as kind as you would like, I apologize. There is a lot of shit going on. Estia didn't die that long ago. I am worried fucking sick that my remaining friends are gonna die in this because nobody else can stop what's gonna happen. We're it. So yes, I appreciate what you did. I am trying not to be a dick. I was not trying to be a dick when I described my vision to you. I didn't have to fucking tell you about that. But I did, because it might save your own life. And I gave it to you very clinically. So I'm sorry if that little snide, so you do know what my pain feel like, triggered me. Because you obviously don't know shit about me either. And you've been making your own assumptions about us, yes?
Maybe.
That's a yes. So we're all going to try to be nicer to each other. But most of us have not lived for 70 fucking years. Most of us right here are in our 20s. And previous to this, most of us only really cared about getting through college. Not me, but that's at least partially my fault. But we're not getting into that right now. The thing is, there's a lot. We're coming up to a big confrontation with some scary fucking Ubermensch, vampire Nazi scientist, master race bullshit. And for extra fun and giggles, we get to go to the Hellmouth. So, Eugenie, we found them. Did you hear? You only heard the last couple sentences. So Danny, at great personal risk to himself, found them. He overheard their plan. They're planning to try to tap into the Hellmouth to make their whatever science magic mumbo jumbo bullshit work. We all know that this is a terrible fucking idea, but they're going to do it. So that's what we're trying to stop. We have the dagger. It's complete. It also does things to your fucking head. So I'm just putting that out there. It's not just, as with all these things, it's not just a magic item. Oh, look, I get all this power and there's no drawback. No,
that's not how that works.
no, it's never how that works. But God, my job would have been so much easier if stupid people just realized that. But that aside, we're trying to plan on how to lure these fuckers out. We know that they probably want a slayer. we know they probably even want, since they've been grabbing co-eds, a smart, beautiful, magically terrifying co-ed. I don't know
Thank
if they
you,
want
darling.
Mennonites, but well, you know, the truth is what
Well.
it is. I don't know if they actually, Danny, this is not meant as a slight on you, but I don't know if they actually want you at all. I really think that they just let you go. So this revenge will be even better, actually, for you
Yeah,
if we can
it's-
get it off, because they discarded you, and you're gonna help us ash the fuck out of them. And you are
You're
going to
going
help
to
us.
be up our sleeve. Them not knowing that we're working together is probably to our advantage.
Yes. So
Danny just gives you a look
it takes it
like
out of me. He takes another puff off the vape.
Danny has a sort of like jaw forward, sort of shitty, like of course they think that kind of look on his face. But he doesn't say anything.
Look, they've actually actively been hunting you this whole time and we don't know. Great, you haven't mentioned it. But they seem like the kind who do their thing and toss it into a cabinet or a locker or a bunker when it doesn't turn out the way they hoped.
Yeah, they do that.
So,
Except the first couple people.
well, maybe
I
they
would
learned
know.
from that. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Wanna know why? Because
And like,
I escaped. You wanna know how long I was there? I was there for a year. You wanna know how long they kept experimenting on me? A year. You wanna know what I had to do? Get out of there?
gnaw off your own arm like a coyote.
Everything but. They're gross, sadistic, prideful assholes.
So you were out during the 50s and 60s?
Out as a vampire? Yeah.
Well, I mean like out of their control. So you
Oh,
full well were participating in the culture. That's probably when you got your switchblade and joined the socks or the greases.
I don't appreciate that.
I'm trying
had
to
a
rib you
life.
and make this come back to a reasonable situation.
We
Or did
passed
you-
reasonable situation about 10 minutes ago.
Sorry about
So you
that.
bought the
But
switchblade within the last few years, or you've had it for a while?
It's been a helpful companion. I have something that they want, if you really, really must know.
And that is
None of your business.
if we're gonna do this together, I'm pretty sure it is our business. Otherwise, you can just
Fair. I spoke too soon. He takes a moment, pulls something off his finger, tosses it over to Ash.
that's just and looks at it.
Gold ring, green gem, crudely made.
Can I see if there's any magic aura around that ring at a distance by using the sight?
Do
You
you
can try, yeah.
have a fucking replica gem of Amara?
Yeah, Ash is
Oh,
like
I do not.
Ash is also looking at this very closely with their new study week as well.
Yeah. Cheryl, that's your name. Cheryl,
Yeah.
you see very faint glow or ripple. It's not nearly as strong as the gem of Amara should be.
Okay.
It is pathetic.
But what vibe? What
Um
vibe does it give off?
uh
And what should I roll for you
like
for
a
that?
protective. Make me like a perception occultism.
Perception occultism?
Can Ash
Mhm.
also do the same since it's like in their
Mhm.
hands?
Yes.
That'll only
Recover
be
from
an 11.
the rant he just went on. So it's just like,
That's gonna be a 15 from Ash.
Okay. Yeah. Ash, your Slayer sense is like this. This is wrong. Both because it shouldn't exist and because it's not it's like inferior. It is an imposter. And
Of the Gem of Amara, or
of what looks to be something that was supposed to be a gem of Amara.
so what does this do? Give you just a little more time in the sun before you're cooked, or
yeah. Is this how you've been getting around?
Basically. I'm
And-
surprised it took you this long.
And why would they want this? This is clearly a knockoff if I've ever seen one.
well, if you can't get
'Cause
the
it's
real
a-
thing,
More than they had.
yeah, it's sometime in the sun makes vampires more dangerous than not being able to go out in the sun at all.
I don't know, this just seems, I mean, I get it, but in terms of what they're looking for, Hellmouth power versus 2 hours in the sun, if I had to choose between the two,
Well,
yeah.
you have to remember too, though, Ash, that Helma power isn't going to empower them. It's going to empower what they create. If they're
True.
going for a vampire that's never, has none of the weaknesses of a standard vampire, and we're putting the whole Blade 2 thing aside, because that didn't turn out very well for them either. But if you're going for something, you're making this uber awesome vampire, but then you're still going to be left never being able to step out in the sun at all, ever. Even, 10 minutes or however much time this thing grants you is still something a lot of vampires would kill for. I mean, they probably kill for it anyway. Vampires are like that mostly. But did you make this or did you steal it from them?
I took it.
Okay, so they somehow actually managed to make this.
They do really
Somehow.
want it.
Or they
How did
Can I
they
have
not?
that back? It kind of has some meaning to me.
You can have this back if you agree to stop hiding things from us and work with us to the best of your abilities. And Ash will look at Ye and be like, we'll try our best as well to be on our best behavior. But you
Jack
have
pipes
to
up.
understand that this is difficult for all the parties around, and
Jack's
and
like,
there's just like a
it's
big sigh.
easier if you say yes. They're gonna keep prying.
Oh, we haven't pried that much into you. I mean, there,
Yeah,
Jack.
I was about to
We-
say.
Yeah, actually
Not
gonna be
like they
like,
did much prying.
she's gonna be like, what prying have we done, Mr. Totally not a cop? But if you
Danny,
agree, then fine.
okay. Bygones be bygones. We both want the same things.
Ash
If
is
you want
going.
to ask me about my life, that's fine.
Ash is going to hold on to the ring for a second and look at Danny and say, I want you to swear on whatever it is that has made you so determined to not be like them. Whatever it is deep inside there that I don't fully need to know about, but something has you holding on. And so, whatever that is, swear on that you will not betray us.
I swear on it.
Can Ash tell if he's lying?
You can make a perception notice.
Okay. 17.
He's not lying.
Okay. Ash will hold it back out to him.
He takes it, slips it back specifically on his left ring finger.
The marriage finger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The one that has the vein to the heart.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Jack would have noticed that specifically for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Who was she? If you don't want to tell me, that's fine, but I understand.
He's pensive for a couple seconds. He hasn't really looked at you almost at all this entire time because he's been
Jack's been a wallflower on purpose.
Yeah. And so he turns his attention to you for like probably the first time this evening and he says, Susanna. And she was my fiance. Well, she was supposed to be. I was going to propose the night they took me. So there's that.
Jack doesn't say anything, but his hand reaches to a ring under his shirt.
You got one too?
Diane.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah.
So yeah. You said you didn't care what my reason was to swear? There you go. Among several things.
She's still alive?
No. She passed a couple years ago.
Sorry.
That's what happens when you're mortal. You die.
There is a deep, heavy silence from Ash as if they have just come to a very sudden realization. So, we're patrolling and Eugenia is still there.
Yeah, Eugenie has just been observing in a very Eugenie way of like, she has thoughts that she's not letting anyone know right now because she's not stupid and she knows this is not the right time or place. But as this conversation sort of draws to a close, she agrees, yes, we'll do a double patrol. And Julian says it may be best if we conclude discussions for the night. It's getting late and things are already taxing as it is. So he suggests, like he often does, that you all return to your homes, get the rest you need, come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jack takes a detour on his way home.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, actually. Eugenie turns to Ye. Can you meet me in the training room for a sec?
I can. And he just looks at Ash and is like, she's going to hit me. I know it. And he's gonna wander back. He's gonna tuck the vape away just in case. Doesn't want that to get broken. It's a new cartridge.
Ash will just like slowly like palm it.
Oh yeah, here you go.
So she meets you back in the training room, and as you come in, she says, close the door. Look, I'm going to be real with you. You have been through a lot. But rampages, slaughters, arson, and threats are not how you handle this.
Yeah, I came to that realization before more ash than blood dried, but you know what I mean. It's like I
You
was
are
in a fog and then the fog lifted and I was left with, oh, fuck.
you're full of hate and anger, and I get that. But is it okay to become a monster in order to fight monsters? Don't let your grief turn you into what you say demons aren't. Just raging, mindless things of hate. I know you weren't raised that way.
No, I wasn't raised that way, but neither of my parents who raised me have gone through anything like this. I know them very well. I know their history. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm trying. It's part of the reason I smoke so much.
Yeah, I know.
That and the visions.
Yeah. When you become inconsiderate, irrational, that's when it can get to you. What's the point of fighting evil if you let it win while you do it?
Yeah, I know. I just really don't like Danny all that much. I'm trying. I'm really trying, but something about him grates on very raw nerves.
Look,
But
Danny, I know I just met the guy today. My Slayer sense is going wacky about that guy. And I've never got readings like that before.
yeah, I'm not surprised given what he said about how it screwed up his biology, how he can't actually hurt like, you know, can't hurt people and lives on pig's blood and all that. I'm sure he's not pinging right on the Vampdar. And like I said, I'm trying to rise above this and I'm trying to give him a chance and trying to rein in that part of me that just wants to immediately just, you know, put a bunch of extra plating on a bulldozer and run it right through that house.
I get it.
I would call it
I really
Killdozer
do.
Jr.
I'd watch that movie.
I would too. But no, I get where you're going, and I'm sure in everything you've been through, you've had to fight this fight yourself.
It's not easy losing someone that you love so much.
And it
But
wasn't
you're
even like
not
I
the only
was.
one.
Oh, go ahead.
You're not the only one.
I know. And
You
that's
can call on us. You can talk to us. You can share the burden. I know
I
you think it's all your job, but it's not. I went so long thinking it was all on me. That I was the protector, that I was the guardian, that I had to keep everyone safe. And as a Slayer, that is my job. But if a Slayer doesn't have a network, she's lost. I mean, what are Watchers for? What are friends for. The most famous of slayers had networks. And this is something even I'm realizing now.
I know. I can see it. The problem is I can't lose anyone else. It seemed easier when it was just me. Just me hurting, just me fighting, just me in danger. I figured I would do as much as I could, and I didn't really figure I would graduate before I was brought down. But then I was the only casualty.
I know. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to damn well do our best. And know that we did not do anything half-assed. And if it is up to fate to take someone, we did everything we did to keep that from happening. Sometimes shit happens. And I'm not saying that to tell you to buckle up or to, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I'm saying not everything is in your control.
I know. And I hate that. But more than
I hate
anything,
it too.
I think you know what my actual nightmare is. Or can you guess?
I imagine it's losing your loved ones of some sort.
Pretty much. It's being the last one standing. You know, fighting that good fight and being the only one left.
I'll make you a deal. I'll make sure you go down first. Or at least before I do.
Do I at least get dinner and a movie first?
KFC and Mad Max? Thunderdome.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Cool.
All right.
All right, go back out there.
Yeah. Am I sending somebody else in? Are we doing pep talks across the board?
Nah.
All right. You know, if you want me to send Jack in and you can just like purple nurple him until he tells us like his secrets. I know he's hiding things.
I mean, I don't think he's a problem.
I know, but yeah, all right. Anyway, so he just kind of tries to deflect the heaviness at the end with humor as he does, and opens the door and wanders outside. Well, pauses, does a little eye scrubby thing, and then wanders out.
And check in with Kyle. You doing okay?
Yeah, no, I'm doing fine. It's
Okay.
just you channel something. It's just how
Making sure.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
As
So you, yep.
I was gonna say, as Ye wanders out, Ash is sitting on the table. I don't know if everybody else is still there, but like Ye's vape is just like twirling between their fingers, and they just like huck it at Ye and go like with a wink. Like they know whatever happened is in there, but they were also
Like there
there.
for him. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's just gonna give Ash a hug. Big bear hug.
Eugenie, so while Ash is getting a big bear hug from Yay, that's your name. Eugenie is going to, like the wise ass she is, toss a steak to Ash and mostly to see if Ash can catch it while they're in a hug.
Yeah, I mean, Ash is only like 5'1", but Ash is in the hug, and they will stay in that hug as long as Ye needs to, and they will literally just like in the hug, just catch it and throw it back at Eugenie and go back with a finger too, just like just.
Yep.
And Ash will literally stay there for as long as Ye needs it. They don't care how long it is.
Eugenie nods and like you guys can't tell her thoughts, but she is thinking she knows their priorities. They know their priorities.
There's a muffle. There's a muffle at some point because like Ash is just in Ye's chest and it's like, listen, if we're gonna stay here for this long, I might need snacks, okay?
Yeah, Yale reach into a pocket and just hand Ash some Funyuns before he disengages.
Eugenie's
Ashel-
gonna
Pocket
Ooh.
Funyuns.
Hold on.
Pocket
I'm
Funyuns.
gonna Ash will take one Funyun and take the other, and one goes on the thumb and one goes on the pinky, and not in like, and it just gives like like to Ye, just with a Funyun.
Yep.
Yeah.
cute.
So there's a
Yep.
Funyun
Alright.
moment.
Yep.
And Eugenie will just pass by you and say, meet me at the door, and then she'll head out. So Jack, we'll make a detour.
Yeah. Jack's gonna ripping on his dirt bike. He's gonna go past the house and kind of once or twice. At this point, he actually stopped at one point to change out of his regular clothes, and he's got like a tank top with like a beer brand on it. He's got a mesh cap backwards because that's how you know it's a helmet. And he's just ripping around, and eventually he goes kind of rips past the house, like not like super close, but and then goes up the hill. And what he's doing is he's actually trying to mark in his head how much distance that is
Oh, it's a good like
from the house to the hill, and then
I'm shit at distance.
it's going to be a couple hundred feet at least.
Yeah, maybe like 500 feet.
Yeah.
I pulled that number out of my ass, but
yeah, no, it's okay. We're going to say it's 500 feet. And yeah, and then he's just going to spend a couple of minutes kind of ripping up and down the hill to make it look like he's just some kid, redneck.
cool.
riding on a dirt bike.
Make me a perception notice check.
Perception notice. Does my situational awareness come into play because of is it a threat?
No.
Okay.
And this is where Bison has to make a new character because the flesh-eating demon rabbits that live on the Hellmouth.
That is a 14.
14. You
Their clothesline set up between one of the runs.
you notice that so like when Ye was looking at the Google Maps, there were like sparse patches of dead grass.
Mhm.
You notice that one of them, now that you're closer, is in like an unnaturally circular formation.
Okay. He's gonna do a quick spin out, just kind of not around it, but just kind of like intersecting, like just a spray dirt and grass with the back wheel as he's kicking around just to try and see.
You hit something metal.
Okay. Quick army knowledge, is that roughly the size of a ballistic missile in diameter? No, okay.
No.
So yeah, how big around?
The patch that you scraped off with your tire is maybe like you could squeeze a human in there, but you can tell like you haven't uncovered the edges, so like it could be bigger.
Okay. Just the rough patch is roughly
Yeah.
okay. All right. Yeah, he's gonna spend another like 5-10 minutes kicking around just to make it look like he's dicking about and not actually looking at things.
Okay.
And then,
Make me make me a perception crime to be stealthy and notice things.
Perception crime. Oh, I only need one. That is an 11. Nope, 12.
12. Okay. You find one of the edges of just like pretending to like kick the dirt, like there's like I don't know, fucking cans or something there. Or like trying to like cover up your tire marks, and you find one of the edges and it kind of widens this patch to maybe like 4 feet-ish wide. And you could probably guess it's maybe the size of like the entrance to a tornado shelter basement kind of thing, if you know what I'm talking about.
I've seen Twister.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what you find.
Okay. And yeah, he'll rip back off the hill, spends another little bit kind of dicking around in the neighborhood being a delinquent.
You hear kind of a whoop in the distance because they can hear your dirt bike.
Yeah, it's time to get out of there.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yep. So you head back. Any last things that anyone wants to do?
Jack's report is going to be primarily just kind of a general location of what he was just at. We believe, or vampire Nazi scientists, and he's got the whole like all of the descriptors. And Jack's report is not full of lies, half truths. He goes into these scientists are trying to bridge the gap between science and magic, and then just like a question mark. Some alchemy bullshit, potential experiments, and then as an addendum, I need to know everything we have on this Cleveland Hellmouth.
Okay. You submit your report and your requests. And next session, we'll figure out what happens next. So the curtain drops on tonight. Eugenie and Ash patrol. Cheryl and Ye go home. Jack goes back to his room at the motel.
Half narcs on us. Not fully, but like half narcs.
And 2 ancient vampires step out into the night. Dun dun dun. And there you have it. That's tonight's session. Thank you guys for joining me on this hell of an adventure. Thank you guys for being troopers and for being fully in it. Like my brain wasn't really.
Spacey nights happen. It's okay.
They do.
This is always super fun, and I want to say thank you to all of you guys. Thank you, Bison _Stonefist. Thank you, Back Kyle. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Mana. Thank you, producer Kevin. Thank you, everyone who is in chat. Thank you for everyone watching the VOD and everyone watching on YouTube. If you made it this far, give the video a like, give the channel a subscribe. Clearly you liked the video, so why not come back for more?
And thank you, Director Chris.
Thank you, Director Chris.
Yes.
Yes, always. Thank you, Director Chris.
You're welcome. And last but never ever ever least,
And most
And-
importantly,
I was literally about to say that. most importantly, be nice to each other, or I will set the vampires on you nicely.
Nice.
Ah,
bye everybody.